Angela, can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Angela Okoyomi. I am a senior contracts and procurement specialist with over 10 years experience. Prior to this time, I was I worked with a Total Exploration company in Nigeria as a contracts and procurement specialist. And then I worked at Newcomers also as a contract procurement specialist. I have a master's in supply chain, and then I also have my MSIPs chartered. Yeah, I'm about 3 years in Canada now. I think that's about it from me.
Good morning, everyone. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I think it's better now.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. That's Odwanyo, right?
Yes, this is Odwan. I'm very sorry for joining a bit late. So, my name is Atewolara Odwanyo. I just came to Canada in June. Previously, I was in Nigeria and I've been working with Procter & Gamble. I have 18 years experience in supply chain. So I started from the warehouse and then I moved into material planning. Then later on, I moved into logistics and government compliance. So my last role in Nigeria was as a country import leader. So that's where my last role before I came to Canada. Yeah, that is it for me.
That's really good. Welcome, Ojayo. Nice to have you here. And it's nice to have every other person here, from Ojayo to Olawande, Dr. Rio, Kwado, Lawrence, and Michael. Thank you all for joining today, and we will be starting the session shortly. So before I start the session, I would like to mention that the founder of Sira Project, Abiodun, is currently in a conference and exhibiting for Sira Project. So he's not available to introduce himself at the moment. So I'm just going to give like a brief professional summary, and then we would start the session. So Abiodun is a transformational supply chain and project management expert, and he has over 20 years of experience in Nigeria's oil and gas sector and also in Canada's public sector. So, like I said, he's the founder of Sira Project and is currently based in Winnipeg. And he specializes in supply chain consulting, business process improvement, and ERP implementation. So he leads the supply chain industry network where he fosters collaboration and innovation among professionals. He's actually recognized by the Supply Chain Canada as a key immigrant contributor, and he's passionate about mentoring emerging talents and teaching supply chain and project management at various institutions. Just to add, he basically is a professional that is trying to help new immigrants like ourselves to incorporate into or integrate um, into Canada's, let's say, yeah, into Canada's job sector basically. So he has like various platforms where we have over 400 professionals, immigrant professionals from different parts of the country, and they are currently living in different parts of the world, and they are currently living in different provinces in Canada. So I think we should give him like kudos for that. And yeah, just a brief introduction on what Supply Jobs Canada network does. So it's a network of immigrant supply chain operations and project management professionals in Canada. And what we do is we provide research for job search, networking, and professional development towards economic integration in Canada. So I'll be sharing the link for you to know more about Supply Chain Canada Network. Here at Syria Project, we have a survey of monthly Saturday activities. So like we currently are doing today, the first week of the month, we usually do industry connect, newcomers onboarding, and networking session. Basically, what we're doing today. Then the second week usually involves a deep dive into job search, where if we have guest speakers or even Abiodun himself talk about the need for networking, LinkedIn optimization, and job search roadmaps. Then the third week usually involves mock interviews or career transition strategy sessions with guest speaker. We had one 3 weeks ago where it was really interesting and insightful, where guest speakers had to speak about their personal experiences and how they navigated and integrated into Canada's job sector, basically. Then the fourth week usually involves demo sessions or info sessions. Last week we did a session on Oracle ERP. Then I think last week in August, we had a session on SAP. So these sessions usually happen every Saturdays, and to be honest, they are actually insightful, and we would learn like one or two things, if not many things, when you join this session. So today we're going to be talking about an overview of the supply chain industry network, and basically we want to have an engaging session where we will talk about the socio-cultural and job search challenges in Canada, whether two people can share their experiences. Then we would also have Q&A sessions. Then we are expecting a guest speaker that would talk about job search roadmap. So yeah, that's basically it. Angela, am I missing anything?
Yeah, I think that's about it.
I can see a question, if I may ask, are recordings of this session? Yes, recordings of this session are usually available online. You can find the recording sessions on YouTube. I'm going to share the YouTube link as we go. And let me share my screen so we can get started. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. So, like I mentioned, supply chain industry networking. So about us, basically, what we're trying to do is to empower the diaspora community of industry professionals. So Supply Jobs Canada Network is a community of people, supply chain operations, project management professionals, and experts in Canada. So people basically is black, black, indigenous, and people of color. And the network is actually focused on empowering members for career and professional development in Canada through networking, mentoring, trainings, volunteering, and providing information about industry trends, also job opportunities and emerging technologies within the Canadian industry. So apologies for the breaking transmission. I'm currently unable to give Angela access to be my co-host, so I'll have to be admitting people in the meeting as they join. Just apologizing ahead. Welcome people that are joining now. Kindly introduce yourself in the chat section and also share your LinkedIn URL so that we can connect. So the mission for Sierra Project, basically it's an ecosystem of talent, project expertise, and tech resources where we empower professionals for career fulfillment. And we usually do a lot of professional development programs and also training and internship programs. So the mandate is that we want to create a commonwealth of experience and expertise in the Canadian industry. And we would like to empower the people that are Black, Indigenous, and also people of color in Canada through networking, mentoring, and training. And the overall goal is to foster diversity and inclusion. So I must have mentioned earlier, we have a lot of professionals within our network. We have over 400 professionals within our network, and they're actually based in different provinces in Canada. The pie chart shows how they are based, and the professionals, they include supply chain professionals, project managers, business and data analytics, operation managers, even human resource managers, then also info and business system managers. We have a lot of platforms that we are on. We have the WhatsApp group. So for people that are yet to join the WhatsApp group, we are going to share the link to join the WhatsApp group. However, you have to join the supply chain industry network for you to be able to have an entry into the WhatsApp group. So if you have to join the supply chain industry network, then you would now be admitted into the WhatsApp group. I would also share, or we would also share a link for that as well. So we have Slack app, we use YouTube, and currently we use Zoom. So for recorded sessions, you will find recorded sessions on YouTube. And for those that are asking on how they can get access to recorded sessions. So basically, I must have mentioned before, what we do is we try to ensure that we have like a platform for people to access or meet other new people for networking, because to be honest, job searching in Canada, basically you need to be able to network. And from a personal point of view, or from my personal experience, I would say that coming from my own country, I did not have I was more like of an introvert, and to be honest, getting here, I found it challenging trying to reach out to people to network, because anytime I reach out to people to ask for tips on advice on how to navigate the job sector in Canada, what first thing people say is you need to know how to network, you need to learn how to reach out to people on LinkedIn, sending cold emails and all of that. And at first I found it challenging, but then I had to, since it's what it's something that needs to be done, I had to actually learn to do that. So I started reaching out to people on LinkedIn. Then at first I didn't get responses, but it's actually normal. So you just need to keep reaching out. There would be at least one or two people that would respond to your messages or your connections on LinkedIn. So the goal is to keep networking and basically don't give up. So we also do mock interviews, we do workshops, we also do study groups for if you have exams or certification studies, we have study groups for PMP, which is the project management certification. We have for CSCP, we have for CLTD, you also have for procurement. We have like a list of study groups available for depending on the certification that you would like to do. And for job postings, the WhatsApp group, they are usually people that post jobs on WhatsApp. And to be honest, they can say, oh, you can use my name as referral and all of that. So I found that particularly interesting. Like there's a group that someone would share posting and say, oh, you can use my name as a referral. Because most times, I noticed that when you're applying for jobs in Canada, they would say, were you referred by someone or were you referred by an employee? So that's sort of like an added advantage, basically. They will also provide mentoring. So some of our highlights, we have like sessions where we come together, and people living in particular provinces or people that can visit, they meet and they also interact and network with one another. So depending on your province, these are pictures from highlights done in Calgary, this one done in Winnipeg, and I believe this was done in Toronto. So yeah, that's basically it about the highlights. So network activities, I've mentioned this before. These are the things that are usually done in Shira projects. Then for internship roles, they have opportunities for internships where you can either be a program coordinator, a business analyst, marketing and sales intern. So these internship roles sort of add to your experience. So some employers would want to employ people that have Canadian experience. So these internship roles will sort of be like an added advantage to your Canadian experience. Then we have program development, and yeah, that's basically it about Shira project. So we use our partner brands are Odoo. We currently use Odoo for some of the surveys we do, and also the supply chain industry network website. So we are actually an authorized partner with ASTM, which is for if you want to have like certifications with CSTP or CLTD or certified procurement manager or something. So our achievements so far, we actually offer a lot, and I must have mentioned a lot in my previous or earlier discussion. So we actually offer to expand your network, also help you build valuable skills, and then you'll be able to gain behind the scene experience in event management, and also have access to exclusive sessions, workshops, while making positive impact in the community. So that's basically all for this. The goal is to help people that find it difficult to integrate into the Canadian system, because most of us, our culture, where we're coming from or from our own country, is different from the culture here in Canada. So Shira Project helps you to transition easily into the system, and we empower diversity and inclusion. So that's currently the end of my slide, and I don't know if there are any questions or comments, but while we wait for that, we have like a question and answer session that will be facilitated by Angela. Angela, are you ready for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Or would you want to share your screen?
You can share it from your end. We'll take it one after the other.
Okay, just before I share my screen, I also want to add that we're going to be having a guest speaker that would be talking about the job search roadmap. I'm guessing a lot of us want to know how to navigate, how to search for jobs, or how to optimize your LinkedIn profile, or even how to network. So when the guest speaker comes, I'm sure it's going to be an interesting and engaging session. And you can also jot down some questions that you would want to ask him. Okay, let me go ahead to share my screen. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, I can. Can every other person see your screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. Okay. So Abiola, I'll just start, right?
Yes,
Okay. Okay, we'll start with question 1. It says, which of the following is considered a common professional greeting in Canada? A, hugging, B, bowing, C, firm handshake and eye contact, and then D, pat on the back. You can drop your answers in the comment section. A, hugging, B, bowing, C, firm handshake and eye contact, then D, pat on the back. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of C's. I'm seeing a lot of C's there. Okay, yes, C is the correct answer. Then question 2. It says, in a Canadian workplace, how important is small talk during business meetings? A, not important at all. B, is essential for relationship building. C, only if you want to impress the manager. D, should be avoided completely. Okay, I think the B's have it. Yes, small talk during business meetings is essential for relationship building. Then number 3. Number 3 says, what should you do if you don't understand what someone is saying in a professional conversation? A, ignore and move on. B, nod and smile. C, politely ask them to repeat or clarify. D, change the subject. Okay, the C's have it. That's correct. Then number 4. Number 4 says, which of the following is a best practice for communicating in a multicultural Canadian workplace? A, using jargon and complex terms. B, being direct, clear, and concise. C, speaking loudly to assert yourself. D, relying heavily on non-verbal cues. Okay, the B's have it. That's correct. Number 5. 5 says, when should you start discussing your salary expectations in a job interview in Canada? A, at the beginning of the interview. B, after receiving a job offer. C, during the first introduction. D, never is considered rude. What do we have? Is that B? Okay, I think B. Is it B?
So I think it's a mix of B and D.
So are you, yeah, it's a mixture of B and D, right?
Yeah, some
Okay.
people say it's considered
This
both.
should actually be, this is kind of confusing, really. After receiving your job offer,
So for
I
me, I
think,
would say after receiving a job offer, because I don't think it should be considered good, because
yeah, it's not rude.
because
Yeah.
you want to know what the, like, if the salary expectation doesn't meet what it is that you want. If you don't ask or talk about it, it may sort of, how will I put it? May sort of
I think
seem
it's something that should be talked about at some point,
to,
because they might even ask you what, So I think is after receiving a job offer is a
yeah,
good time to
speak
talk
to.
about that.
In my opinion, I think that is just setting expectations on the side of the employers and the candidates. So there's nothing rude in that, in my opinion.
I
Okay,
agree with
so you are not admitting to D, right?
No, I go with B because I also have to let
So like I was sharing earlier, I try to master the culture first. Because when Abiodun shares with us, he emphasizes on the culture, right? On what is appropriate and what is not appropriate, and studying body languages to know when to, make a move or something, and then also networking. I have I'm a part of the WhatsApp group, and I have found a lot of people that have come to help me from on that platform when I need help in terms of maybe interviews, prep. I've reached out to Abiodun on several occasions when I have interviews. And then also my LinkedIn profile, I've used that also. I also learned on this platform how to maximize your LinkedIn profile, how to make it attractive to recruiters, So, and that helped me a great deal. I've had recruiters reach out to me on jobs and all, So, so for me, it's been I'm still learning. I'm still learning the culture, still learning how things work, still networking because you can never stop networking. It's a journey, right? So but it's been a very interesting journey so far. You meet people, you get to meet people, from different platforms. Yesterday I had someone sent me a mail referring me to a recruiter that wanted him for a job, so things like that. And yeah, so basically imbibing everything we saw in the questions and answer session.
Thank you, Angela, for sharing. Are there any questions or comments? And does anyone or would anyone like to share his or her experience before we move on to the next part of the session? And also, I've dropped in the comment or sorry, the chat section links for joining the Supply Jobs Canada network and link for joining the WhatsApp group. However, like I mentioned, you need to join the supply chain industry network before you get admitted into the WhatsApp group. And for the recorded sessions, I also added the YouTube link for you to have access to that. Then I also included a link 15 minutes discovery call with a blend, like get a few advice from him on how to navigate the system, basically. Ozoayo, do you want to say something?
No.
Okay. Okay. Um, okay, so while at it, I would just give like a brief demo on how to navigate the Supply Jobs Canada website. Kindly bear with me. Let me set it up before I share my screen. Can you see my screen, please? Can you also hear me loud and clear because I heard that Okay, yes, you can see my screen. While at it, you can also
Yes.
drop your LinkedIn URL in the chat. I can see Angela's dropped hers. I will drop mine when I'm done. Then we all can drop our LinkedIn URL so that we can connect. And so once you click on the supplyjobs.ca, this is the interface that you would see. And basically, is the feed is what shows you the upcoming events and the other news or information posted on the website. This is also a link to join the WhatsApp group. And for the event session, so the events section is where you would see, like I said, upcoming sessions that will be happening. This shows our current session that we're having. Then we had like an Oracle Fusion Cloud session, info session last week. So the events platform will show you what past events and also upcoming events. So like I mentioned, we have study groups for different certifications. So as you can see, the study group for ASCS going to be starting. Also have study sessions for PMP, which is project management professional certification. Then basically website or platform highlights the upcoming and recent events that are happening, that have happened or that are yet to happen. Excuse me, can you still see my screen, please?
Yes.
Okay, let me just reshare. Let's first something. So this part shows you like the chat session, and this part is for notifications. Any information that's posted on the platform, you get the notification here. And you also have a part where you can network with various people across the provinces. And so basically it shows you it's a lot. So for me, I would say that what I did was I just kept going back, and I found out that when I go back, I learn one or two things that like I see or learn one or two things from the website. So this is a part for job search roadmap, and so it's a lot. So you just have to navigate through to get what it is that you want to.
Abiola, I think I have to excuse myself now. I have another meeting to join now.
Okay, that's good.
I think it's Gautier here. I think I saw him.
Hi, Gautier, are you here?
Yes, he is. He's on mute. He's here.
Oh, hi, Gautier, welcome.
Hello, Gautier.
It's nice to see you again.
Same here. Same here.
Okay,
I'm going to be leaving you and Abiola now. I have another meeting to join.
Oh, no, Angela. Am I kicking you out?
No, you're not. So it's just it just happens to be that I have a meeting that is coinciding with this.
Okay, no problem.
Starting at 1. Yeah.
And I apologize, I'm joining the call a bit late. I just had another meeting that finished like 5 minutes ago. So
Okay, that's okay. All right.
Thank you for joining the team. You can.
you're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Session. So our guest speaker will say just a brief introduction. Will be taking us through the job strategy roadmap. So if you have questions about how to navigate job search and LinkedIn optimization or even networking, you can please drop your questions in the chat. And you would also take you would also have some minutes after each session to take your questions and answer them. So Gauthier, you can carry on.
Okay, thank you very much for passing on, and I will share my screen first before I start talking. So I hope this will be the right screen. Yes. Let me know if you can see my screen.
You can see it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
First of all, I apologize for joining the call late. I was on another board of directors meeting that just finished. Thank you very much, Abdullah, for helping out, handling, and doing an amazing job. Thank you, Angela, for backing up as well. And I welcome everyone on the call. My name is Gauthier Ducam Boinde. Yes, you're right. Gauthier is very French, so I should blame my dad for that. But I like the first name. It's pretty cool name. I originated from Cameroon, and I came in Canada. About almost 10 years ago now. It looks like I have 20 years. But my background, originally I did a master's degree in economics, a master in program management. And when I came to Canada, I learned that supply chain was more than just logistics and procurement. And then I decided to challenge the SCMP, which is the Supply Chain Management Professional, with supply chain in Canada. And I also ran for the PMP certification, and I also got a green belt in Six Sigma. That's for like my credentials and certifications. In terms of work in supply chain, I've started with project management like a consultant for 3 years, went procurement for 3-4 years, and come to Canada, went to transportation, logistic, distribution, operational management, and recently I went back into buyer role, category management, procurement lead kind of thing. So when I'm not working, I am a supply chain career mentor with the Cameroon Canadian Association of Calgary, with SEA project as well. I'm an instructor with SAIT College in Calgary, and as well with SEA project. So I'm an instructor. I'll say like I facilitate the procurement certification for the group since 2-3 years now. And I currently work with Sherrit International as a procurement lead here in Calgary. And you can see that's the picture of my 3 boys, Nathan, Michael, and Gabriel. Pretty cool. They all pick their own little monkey and bear and deer there. So that's when I'm not working, I take care of those wonderful creatures. So let's dive into today's topic. We are talking about your journey. So we come from outside of Canada with our foreign quote unquote experience. And for some of us, we think, you know what, I got my visa and the job market is very I'm kidding. I will have my first job 2 weeks after landing in Canada. But sometimes our experience is very different. So we touched today on the experience of newcomers. We'll talk about the hiring pyramid, and I'll talk about the job search roadmap and what is the Pareto rule and how it applies to the job search. And at any point, if you want to stop me to ask a question, please do so. So first of all, with differences in the date of the hiring, we all follow this kind of ways that you see on my slide. When we come and we apply for a job, we got no responses. You send 20, 40, 60, resumes and cover letters. Nobody calls you. And then when someone calls you, you go again, you submit the application or more, and then you go through the first interview stage, second interview stage, all you get is the rejection letter, no feedback. What did you do right? What did you do wrong? Nobody tells you. No feedback. And then you go again and restart the cycle, submitting. And at some point, you fall into the depression stage, right? $80,000 paid in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Cameroon, in Algeria, in Morocco, whatever it is. And what am I doing here? I can't even pay my bills. And that's when you're single. Now, if you have like a wife and 2, 3 kids, you can't even sleep because you're dreaming about like what are they going to eat on the next day. So it could be a frustrating journey, right? So it requires you to have a very strong mindset. So you need to be aware of those potential outcome of your first week, first month in Canada. You need to be self-aware and mindful of what is happening out there in the market. Okay, what is working, what is not working. So by attending this session today, you demonstrate a self-awareness. You understood that you probably don't have all the skills and techniques that you need to be successful by yourself efficiently. And then you join the call to learn more. So I'll say just by doing that, you're ahead of a lot of people who came or who are coming and believe they can do it by themselves. There's some, maybe 1, 2, 3%, but not everyone have that capability. Your response and how you react to that will determine the outcome. People who are not strong enough or resilient enough will do what? Borrow more money from back home, pay a flight ticket, fly back to wherever they come from. If you know what you are looking for and you know like how to change your strategies and how to look for a short-term job, medium-term goal, long-term goal job, then you will strive out. So what does that mean? Understanding first the job market. Here we ask job seekers. So and I'm going to ask the question there for the audience. What has been your most prominent job application approach? What have you done the past 2-3 weeks to get a job? As we have 14 people on the call, anyone can unmute himself and answer. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I don't bite.
Okay, so for me, okay, let's hear. Someone was saying something.
Yeah, this is Larry speaking. I tried to change my CV to try to tailor it to the job description and resubmit to some of the companies that I've applied before, because I've been applying for the past 3 months, so which I didn't get any response. So I try to see how I can put the job description to align with my CV. That's what I did. And another step I took yesterday was one of the companies I submitted my CV very close by to where I stay. So I went to the company in person to check. So they now told me that the person in charge of that particular department is not around, so that I can check back next week. Thank you.
Very good, very good. That was Lawrence, right? So I like the fact that you have shifted your approach. And the first thing you have been doing for the past 3 months, that is what 90% of people do, because what they do, they think like people think, that we see a job advertisement, we go and we apply. That's the top of the pyramid there, you're right. And some people who are a bit smarter will say, okay, I'm going to go through a recruitment agency, because those recruitment agencies have insight in the job. They know what is the pay scale, know what the hiring manager is looking for. They know what is the current issue and why they are replacing the person. So they have some hints and knowledge, inside knowledge, that we outsiders don't have. So that's what most people do. But guess what? 80% of the jobs that you see posted out there already have a preferred applicant. And where does that preferred applicant come from? The bottom of the pyramid. It comes from people within the organization, internal promotion. They come from referrals. That's the second stage on the bottom of our pyramid. Contact from the existing staff. So, and you, Lawrence, going yesterday in that company, creating that connection, wanted to see that managers. What you will do there, you're gonna like jump all the red, green, and potentially red, green stage and go into a networking stage, because you're going to be connecting with that hiring manager. He will see you for who you are. He can see your personal skills, like how you smile, how you are critical thinking, and he may like you, just your person. And it's okay, I want to learn more about your technical skills, right? Wow. Maybe while you talk, you'll say, okay, I love like softball or like baseball. Oh, wow, really? I'm like a fan of like Blue Jays. And oh, really? I watched the game and connection. And before you know it, you go to a game together, and that's it. He does what? Call his HR manager. You know what? Can you schedule me a job interview with Lawrence? That is networking. And that, so what I'm saying here is that the employers hire starting from internal promotion. Then they look at, okay, you are John, you have been working for me for 5 years, and you are an excellent worker. I love what you do. I like your personality. Do you know anyone who is like you? I would like to hire him. And then just say, oh, you know what? I know Lawrence. He came recently. We met at the not-for-profit organization. He was volunteering. And he mentioned a couple of things. I think I like him. I have a great background. Okay, you know what, John? Bring his resume, let's have a look. That's how it works. Referrals. Networking, the rest comes after. So instead of we, I include myself, people, instead of thinking the opposite from like job advertisement agencies and down, let's think like the hiring companies and think of who in that company can offer me a referral. And how can I connect with the hiring manager or a person in that company and just go from there? If there's one thing you need to take out of this slide, those are the two advices. Is there any questions on how you could apply these in your job search moving forward?
Yeah, one more thing I need to add is I actually met a lady in that company. She collected my number, my name, and my number, so that she will give it to the hiring manager in charge of that section. And I also collected her number in case if I didn't get any response, I can easily call to check with her.
Excellent, excellent. And touching these thoughts, having a contact. And you know what? You might even like enhance the relationship with the lady. In terms of sometimes the assistant might give you some, ways in that you yourself you wouldn't have had otherwise. So well done. And I think that's a shift to pay off very soon. So awesome. So let's move on. So this is a food for thought. So this is a quote from Ernst and Young. Is that a consultancy firm? And they say, so their analysis shows that referred hires performs better and stay longer and are quicker to integrate into their team. And if you just drill through a little bit, it makes a lot of sense for a couple of reasons. If you, Dan, you refer me in your company, you tell me, don't mess around, don't mess up because my name is on the line. So I'm not just there to make a paycheck. I need to keep your reputation in line or maybe like enhance it. So now that's the first element. The second element, anytime I have a struggle in my position, I will come see you. You have been there for a while, so you know the ins and outs, and you know, okay, you can go talk to Sebastian. He will help you out. And that's how the referred people strive or perform better than anyone who has not got that referral. Now, why do they stay longer? They have that person that brought them in. They have a tie in. And probably the work environment is good, and that's the reason why their referee brought them in, sorry. Okay, so and they can integrate quicker because they have first that relation. But on the top of that, anybody else knows that they know someone within, and that person will tell them what to do and what not to do. Okay. So this point is very, very relevant. Now, it's good to do all that lecture and all those comments, but what should be your strategy in general? See, a assessment, and what will go into your job sales assessment will be what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, right? In which industry will you strive? Okay, what type of company? Currently, what type of certification do you need to take before you can be competitive in the market, right? Once you identify your strengths and your weaknesses, identify your gap. From the gap, what you do, you develop an action plan that will help you to close that gap. And while you do that, you work on your choice for 5 companies, 3 to 5 companies, or industry where you would like to work. Why? So once you know the company you would like to work, what you do, you go on LinkedIn, you connect with those people, you engage with them, you like their post, you comment on their post, you go to the volunteering event. Once you go and volunteer the event, what happens? You connect with the director, you connect with the manager, you connect with the vice president, with the CEO, and you create that personal touch. You create that contact. And whenever you write your resume or volunteer with your organization in the past, believe me, you're going to stand out of the pile of thousands of resumes that will go through the system. And you might not even go through the system. Because they know you already. And then you can go apply line later on. For you to do that, you need to be intentional in, I want to work for your company. And therefore, I will know people who work there. I will be involved in your organization in a volunteering way. And that's how I'm going to put my foot in. And in some cases, you might actually go to that volunteering event, and the culture, the vibe, the feeling that you have there, it's a toxic environment. What you do, you backtrack. It's safety. So that's in a very simple way placed your job search strategy. Be intentional and lay down your plan. And this a whole framework, and we get more in detail. In some cases, you need a starting point. So what I've explained the past 1 minute, that's like what a mentor will tell you and will guide you through. Okay, it might take 1 or 2 sessions to kind of like work on your SWOT, 1 or 2 sessions to determine what would be the positions that you would excel in. So why would that take maybe 1 session? And I'll explain you why. You have done a CSAP, Certified Supply Chain Professional with ASCM ethics, which tells that you have the foundational knowledge to be a supply chain professional. Now, how many jobs exist in supply chain? Dozens. You could be a
for interrupting. I think your mic goes off at some point, then comes back on. I don't know what the cause would be.
Okay, so let's try this. I'm gonna pause my camera and see if it helps.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for that. Is it better?
So it seems like you're far from the mic. So there's a little bit of echo.
Okay, which is strange because I don't have my headset on.
Okay. I think we'll just go with. You can continue.
Okay, so I'll continue, but let me know if we still have the same issue.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, perfect. So, yeah, so I was saying we have dozens of jobs in supply chain. So you need to know, based on your strength, your weakness, based on your background, educational background, and based on your skills, what job will you strive the most? You also need to look at, in the current market, where do you have the more opportunities? What is the industry I need to work on? So the mentor will help you to lay that down in a clear plan. And then you develop your job search strategy, and you start working on your resume in a lean way. So your SWOT resume will build up on your strength, and will try to leverage all the opportunities that are out there. And those opportunities, you will find them by locating the industry and the company you would like to work for, right? And if there's a weakness, could be you have the experience in supply chain, but you don't have a designation, which means a solution would be, okay, you know what, you need to go and take a 3-month procurement certificate. And in 3 months, you have it, bam, you put it on your resume, and now we can start looking at some jobs. So that is how you apply some science or like processes to your job search. So you can learn from your mistakes. That will be doing it all by yourself, or sitting in your bedroom and submitting a resume. Or you can learn from others' mistakes. That could be joining our supply chain platform, joining these calls, volunteering when it comes to a mock interview. Or you can get a mentor who will hold your hand and help you throughout the process. Networking. Where can you network? Out there. Where can you network? Or what to do when you networking session?
I got James. We can't hear you.
Okay, that's probably my internet that is not the greatest.
Better now.
Okay. Now I'll stick closer to my computer here. So the question was, where can you network when you come to Canada and you want to enlarge your network? Can anyone give me like one or two examples of networking opportunities for a newcomer? Pretty quiet today. I'll pick on someone here. Kofo, Adeyinka. I hope you can unmute and maybe share your thoughts, Stephanie. Okay, so I'll proceed. So the first and easy networking platform that you can use is LinkedIn. So, and for your networking to work on LinkedIn, you need to have an appealing profile, right? So it needs to be clear, like a professional picture, a clear statement of your job position, of what is your value proposition, what is your experience, what is your education background, what is your aspiration, right? So, and there, once again, you will try to connect with people who can bring you value or to whom you can bring value. Okay, so identify the company, look at people who are working there in your area. I mean, like Calgary or Alberta or in Ontario, wherever you are located. So you connect with those people. Now you need to engage, which means if they post something, you're gonna like it, you're gonna comment on it, you will, share in some instances. Okay, so that's the engagement part. LinkedIn will send you a notification saying that, oh, this is his birthday or his work anniversary. Don't just like ignore the notification. Jump on it and say, hi, Matthew, congratulations on your work anniversary. How is it going there so far? How do you like it? And what challenges have you faced? Okay. Connect and engage with the person. Okay, that's how you maintain your network. You want to wait for 2 years, and that's when there's a job opening in John's company. That's when you reach out and say, can you please refer me? No, it doesn't work like that. You nurture that relationship and you can harvest when the right time comes. That's the first networking approach online. Now, you can convert that online networking as an active in person by inviting someone who is in the same city as you for a coffee. Pay for it, you invite him to a Tim Horton or whatever, like coffee place you like. And then you spend 30 minutes there, you know the person, you connect, but don't ask for a job at a time. Just connect, learn, and ask questions, okay? that's one thing. So the second thing that you do for networking, you join professional bodies. Okay, so there's two major professional bodies in supply chain here in Canada. You have ASCM and EPICS, which is more American and is very developed in Africa as well. And then you have like a local brand, which is Supply Chain Canada. So the membership of ASCM is cheaper, and ASCM is a little bit more expensive. But either way, join one of those two organizations, and they have like networking event on volunteering opportunities. Sign up for a volunteering opportunity, or join one of the networking event. Maybe like $10, $15, $20. It's like a 2-hour session. You go there, but when you go there, don't just grab a cup of coffee or a drink and sit in a corner there. No, it's not helpful. You know, go there, engage with people, smart talk, talk about who you are, what you like, your experience, what you have achieved. So for it to be successful, there's two things. You need to know the icebreaker. And for that, you can use ChatGPT and like engage with ChatGPT like you as a person, and it's going to give you prompts and like some responses that are pretty cool that you can use, right? Once you break the ice, now show interest in like the person you are talking with, and let them like ask you the question like, what is your background? What's your experience? What's your current situation? So let them ask and then jump in. Now, one other thing I will say that would be helpful when you are seeking for a job, make sure you build a business card. That will be your name, your professional designation or your credential, and maybe your key previous role. Something simple, but don't make sure that it's easy for you to hand out your contact. Okay, don't let them look for a pen, piece of paper, throw them your number, and next thing I'll say, next day or the same night, you go on LinkedIn, connect with them, send them an email. So make sure that you stay in their mind for the networking session. Okay, those are the two points I wanted to highlight on this slide. Any questions on networking, effective networking, and how it can help you with your job search? No. So another footfall here. So whether it's fair or not, you need to have employees make referrals for you if you want to find a job. Okay, so build that relationship and don't be afraid of reaching out and asking someone to help you to get a job. In a lot of cases, in North America at all, at least, people are willing to help. All they need is for you to ask for help. I know it's a mindset shift. In a lot of cases in Africa, we have been in a lot of situations where we ask for help and we get rejected or denied or just like silent. So when we come here and say, okay, you know what? It's a new environment. I don't want to feel humiliated. But no, here is different. You ask for help, people will jump off the roof and help you out. Okay. Interviews. Their output from the previous steps, right? So after you have either got a referral to get in, or you have submitted a very strong SWOT resume that went through the system and you got called, the next step is the interview. Now, if you have the winning resume, you need to convert that interview into a job offer. And this is where the mock interview sessions that Serial Project offer are priceless. And they help you to be prepared provide you with live feedback, honest feedback, and help you to get better in the job, in a job interview. What is interesting in Canada is that there's a structure to interviews. It might vary a little bit. So if you go into a technical, you'll have like tests. But if it's like a regular, I'll say, admin or like manufacturing, retail job, it's a pretty much non-structured. So if you prepare well for your interviews, there's a very good chance that you will get a job offer. Now, a lot of skills and competencies. They want you to be a culture fit. They want you to fit with the culture. They want you to fit with the existing team. So you might be at the best technical person on the paper, but if they feel, okay, you are someone who loves conflict, you are someone who might not handle stress very well because it's a fast-paced environment, they won't hire you, and they will feel that during a job interview. And maybe that stress that you are showing during the job interview is because of the moment. It's not that you can't handle stress, but it's that any skills, if you work it out, if you practice, you get better. So prepare interviews. You know, there are some script there. There are some YouTube videos. Just be prepared. Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes better. That's what they say. There's a question in the chat there. Okay, that's wonderful. That was Olawande. He shared his LinkedIn profile. So I'll invite everyone on the call to do the same thing as Ola. Share your LinkedIn. You have 14 people, so by the end of the day, you need to have at least 10 more people added to your network on LinkedIn, right? So for that to happen, everyone needs to share their LinkedIn profile here in the chat. Well done, Ola. So one more quote. So a referred candidate are twice as likely to land an interview as other applicants. And to just emphasize what we mentioned about earlier. And so this is just like a recap of what we talked about. So if you can get a mentor, he's a doer right ahead on the journey, he have gone through your struggles, he'll help you to navigate through. Once you have your job search strategy, you socialize your job search and approach, and you look at it from the various angle, and you just keep in mind what is your end goal. You have to step back and say, what do I need to tweak? What do I need to adjust? What do I need to change? And from there, you're gonna have a better resume. I can recall a lady, she arrived here in Canada about 7 months ago, and the first 3 months was sending resumes and job application, no responses. And now she started learning and tweaking her resume. I spoke to her last week, and she said, "Oh, every week I have about 2 interviews now." So excellent. What has changed? Oh, is the way I was writing my resume and the wording I was using. And now she's at the stage where she just needs to refine her job interview skills. And I'm pretty sure before the end of the month of October, she will have a job. And that's a lady that has been working on her own, but she learned from her mistake. So, and this is where if you leverage your referrals, what you will do, you will skip all that waiting period of like 3 to 6 months where you turn your resume and need to learn from your mistake. And someone just hold your hands and bring you in for an interview. Now, seek for feedback, right? So even when you apply for a position and you got an interview, don't be shy to now, 8 times out of 10, they won't tell you in details. What? Because they don't want to be liable on their answers. But if 2 out of those 10 they respond to you, you're in a very better position for the next job application. SWOT resume. You need to know your weaknesses, your strength, and know how to leverage those strengths and opportunities out there and mitigate your threats and work on your weaknesses. Okay, once you're aware of that, you can build a professional development strategy, taking some trainings, going out more to be more a social person, learning with ChatGPT, maybe some prompts, like how to answer questions, icebreaker, small talks, how to connect with people. So the only way you can look at those like learning opportunities is when you have done your SWOT analysis and you have identified some gaps. Until you do that, you won't be aware of what it needs to be working on. That brings us back to what self-awareness. And that is and then upgrade your mindset. So Johnson is the because that is a VP, I'm no one, and then I start freaking out in that interview room. Frustration and rejection. You say no like 9 times, but that one time they will say yes. That 10 times, you overflow, like overwhelmed with the joy and happiness, and like I've done it. So, but you need to have that mindset of success, build up on the failures, and just get better and better. Okay. So Sarah project has that 15-minute free discovery call where you can just like scan these, book a calendar meeting, and either with Ayudun or with myself, or another consultant, and we'll talk to you and we'll say, okay, how can we help? And from there, we'll make a plan that will work for you. So the ideal goal is to get you in that job you're looking for, assuming that it meets the SWOT analysis result in 90 days max. So these are like in a nutshell what the process will look like and how you need to work on your mindset and don't very fast go into like a depression mode. It's not easy, but it's not unachievable. We can do it. Ourselves maybe with some support probably, but we are here to support. Now I'm done with the presentation. If there's any questions, I will take them. If there's any clarification or required, please just unmute yourself.
Thank you, Gauthier, for this insightful session. Are there any questions or clarifications? Or we all understood what Gauthier shared with us? Okay, I think Fado wants to ask a question. Go ahead, Fado.
I enjoyed the presentation by the co-facilitator, and it's very informative. I think one thing that some of us, for instance, for someone like me, that for 11 months, no job. I think the appointment, we have to take advantage, or we have to make use of the opportunity to book an appointment with, experts like, this gentleman and Abiodin, so that they can, really help us, because it's been hectic. I read a story online where I was even shocked. The guy has been here for almost a year without a job, and was asking if there's any financial opportunities that he could benefit. And I was like, really? So I think this program, this association, is a very useful one, and we should take advantage and book appointments with experts like, go. I missed the name, so I don't want to commit myself. So Gautier. Yeah, thank you.
Well, I very much appreciate your comment, and I'll quickly share my story, and maybe that will help to give more confidence and a bit of relief to people. So I came in Canada in 2015. So, and I had a pretty good job with the Ministry of Finance in a project in governance, oil and gas, right? And then I led that because I'm going to Canada, and I arrived here, and then my first job, I said, okay, I need to pay bills and stuff, warehouse. I go there, order picker, so I collect boxes, and that was my first job. So you remove the suit, the jacket, those nice shoes, add them in that box there. You don't need it, buddy. You have your safety shoes, your high vis jacket on. I've done that for 6 months. But while I was doing that job, I started looking at least like twice every week. What could be my next move to go back into my field? So, and I mentioned that briefly earlier. I did not know what is supply chain when I was in Cameroon. I knew about procurement and logistics, that's about it. But while working at Loblaws, in the warehouse and distribution center, I've seen that education incentive where they can finance if you want to go in supply chain. So I started reading. And then I found that even inventory management is part of supply chain. And that what I was doing in procurement, I did some inventory. So I went back and I retweaked my resume to be an inventory auditor because I saw an inventory auditor position open in another company. And it didn't take 1 month on Indeed, and I was able to get an interview. Now, while I was taking the class and I was working at Lavlo, I started doing some English as second language classes, because French is my first language. Also, if you smell some French accent, that's why. So I went for that classes, and then I go for the interview. And during the class, one of my teachers told me, you know what, connect with in any way possible with the hiring manager or the HR specialist. So during the interview, I was waiting for my turn, and the HR people came out of the room, and she called someone and speaking French. She had another team she was coordinating out of Montreal. Oh gosh, I jumped and I started talking to her in French there, created the connection. That's all what I needed. So I went into the interview room and did my best in English. It was like 40% of what I'm talking right now. But after we finished the same night, that was another take out from that English class. I sent an email. Thank you very much for the interview. It was very, very interesting. I would love to be part of the team. And the 2 questions that I missed through the interview, I corrected those in my email. And they wanted only 2 inventory auditors. There were 6 candidates. Me not being an English speaker, I was one of them. So all circumstances worked out for my best, but I had to harness and work on every single of them. That's how I went back into inventory. And I worked there for about like a year, and luckily my manager saw something in me and he said, you know what, there's a distribution planner role coming up. I think what I was doing that, I started doing my SCMP. So working in days, at night, going to do my SCMP. And the two promotions that I got internally was my manager asking me to apply for those. So your previous experience matters. The thing is, how do you show it once you get the chance? If you have to work 120%, do it. Don't look at other people who work 80%. They don't have a mortgage to pay. They don't have a family back home to feed. They don't have like a wife here. They didn't leave everything behind them. So it took me quite some years to go back into the field, but I have learned along the way. And that is what made me a mentor at some point, because I have seen not all of it, but some of it. Okay, so don't be discouraged. Just have I spent 1 hour on working on my resume or 2 hours? What is my short-term goal? What is my mid-term job goal? And what is my long-term job goal? You need to have that clear plan. If you need to wash dishes to pay the bills, that's what you're going to do. But in 6 months, where do I want to see myself? Now, there's one other thing that I will mention before I close this. When you enter a company, it's easier to grow within a company, but you need to seek for opportunities. If I had just order picking company, I would have never seen the supply chain picture or the growth opportunity. So if you enter a company, okay, what are my options to grow within this company? How can the company support me? Some company will pay for your educational development. Could be your certification, could be your training development. They will do that. And just say, okay, you need to stay 1 or 2 years after you are done. And 1 or 2 years goes by so fast. But you need to know exactly what you want and what is out there for you to grab. So there are two types of people when it comes to job market. People who like to jump from company to grow, and people who like to grow within the company. Just seek for internal promotion when it comes. It's fine. You need to decide what type of person you are and what is your strategy to be successful in that decision that you have made. That was my comment. Sorry, it was more than 1 minute, Guado.
Sounds it's worth the time.
Awesome. Abiola, back to you.
Thank you very much, Gautier, for sharing your personal experience. Don't know if there are any other questions. If there aren't, I think we can round up this session. I've dropped in the chat links to schedule a 50-minute discovery call with Abiodun. I also dropped links to the YouTube channel if you want the recorded session. And also if you want to join the WhatsApp group and the Supply Jobs Canada network. So you can all drop your LinkedIn link. Let me drop mine. I see that Gautier has dropped it. So yeah, I'm going to drop mine. Then I would leave the session for about 5 minutes so that if we want to scroll through the chat to check for links that we need, we can have access to that. So thank you very much, Gautier, for coming to share your personal insights and also sharing how to navigate the job market in Canada. Just having to know your strengths, your weaknesses, optimize your LinkedIn, tweak your resume so that it can pass through the applicant tracking system. Also prepare for interviews by doing your research about the company and asking questions after the interview or sending emails to the recruiter too after the interview. Then the importance of networking. I guess I've said like a summary of what the session was. Thank you very much once again, Gautier. So I guess we've come to the end of the session. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Kwado, Dan, Ido, Duplex, Kofo, Lawrence, Odwayo, Olawande, Chichi, Lola, Stephanie, and every other person. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.
Thank you, Abiola. Appreciate it. And have a wonderful weekend, everyone. And, don't be discouraged. Keep hustling. It's going to pay off at some point. And reach out if you need some help. See, Mr. Duplex Numbis, this sounds very Cameroonian. Stephanie.
Yes, yes.
Thank
I'm
you,
a Cameroon. Thank you.
Thank you, Gautier. Thank you, Abiola.
Thank you,
Have a
Gautier. Thank you,
lovely weekend.
Abiola.
You're welcome. David, you can speak French now if you want. No, it's fine. English is good. We need to practice now. And you better.
Au revoir.
Au revoir, au revoir. Oh, wow. Ça, c'est bon, ça,
Au
Laurent.
revoir.
Bye
Au
bye.
revoir.
Au revoir, Laurent.
Au revoir. À bientôt. À la prochaine.
À bientôt. Love it, love it.
Recording stopped.